In this video, I'm going to show you another method for casting on to your Dina Bean sock machine if you do not yet have a setup bonnet. And this method comes to us thanks to Melissa Ellison Dewey. You'll just need a tube of knitted fabric, maybe that you've previously cranked, or if you haven't ever cast on before, you can even use like the old sleeve of a sweater. You just want something where you could get a hold of the loops from the inside like this. To use your soft weights as we suggest with the Dina Beans machine, I'm going to start by taking a couple of feet of yarn, and on one end I'm going to close it up a little bit. This does not have to be perfect. This is just a temporary solution. So I'm just going in and out all the way around until you get back to the other side. There we go. And then I cinch it up and then wrap around several times. Wrap around several times so it's nice and tight at the bottom, and you can easily expect it to hold one of your soft weights. Once you're back around, you can just tie it in a knot. Again, tightening it down, and then we'll be ready to go. That's it. So there is a little makeshift setup bonnet. We're going to be casting on from the inside, so you'll start by folding it over like this. Drop your makeshift setup bonnet down into the cylinder, and you're going to start with the needles that are raised at about 10 o'clock, and we're going to hang all the way around the circle until about between 2 and 3 o'clock. There's no magic to this. You're just using the loom tool. You're just going to grab a loop wherever you can, and you're hanging every other needle. You don't have to do all of them, just do every other needle. I'm simply just picking up a loop and placing it over a needle. This is just a rough method, so it doesn't need to be exact at all. But it's a fast and easy method, which is why some people prefer this even to using a setup bonnet when they have one. I personally prefer the setup bonnet method, but that's the beauty of cranking out socks, is there are lots of different ways to do it. Now I have hung loops all the way around for the needles that are up that I can reach easily. I'm going to drop in my medium weight, so 1.5 pounds, and then get my yarn ready to go. But you don't add it to the cylinder yet. First, you're going to crank until the first loop that's hung is right at 1 o'clock, right before it's ready to close onto the stitch. Then you can take your yarn, like always, your waste yarn that you're casting on with, and hang it to the right. As I'm looking at it this way, you're hanging it to the right of the first needle that has a stitch. And go slowly, make sure, as always, that each of the stitches are catching. For your needles that do not have yarn, make sure the latches are open. You're just going to go around until the last stitch you've hung is at 9 o'clock. Then you're going to continue adding stitches around the cylinder for the rest of the open needles. You do need to make sure that the latches are open as you're adding the stitch, so that the latches end up tucked in to the stitches. There we go. I'm all the way back around. So now I'm going to continue cranking, going just a little slowly on this first row, watching that my latches are open that every stitch is catching. And there, I'm all the way around. At this point, I would check and make sure that each needle only has one stitch around it. Some of them will have proper stitches and some of them will just have a loop at this point. And then you keep cranking from there. And then you're all set. That's all there is to it. So I hope that helps give you another idea for a method that you can use to cast on when you do not have a setup bonnet. Happy knitting! Visit us at deanandbean.com and please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.